In this video, I'm going to walk you through the best podcast software on the planet, and it's called Riverside. And in case you're curious, I'm actually recording this whole video in Riverside as well. So let's dig into Riverside and how you can use it and what it is and how it works that makes podcasting so easy and quality. So you're going to love this software platform. Let's dig into the video. Hey there, if we haven't met yet, I'm Nils Smith, your social media guide, and one of the most powerful platforms out there for social media is podcasting. And I say that because it really gives you an opportunity to create pillar content. And so I want to talk about how you create a full podcast that can be distributed on YouTube and can be distributed on all the audio podcast platforms, as well as clipped out for giving you social media content and essentially using social media to then promote your podcast. So Riverside is the best tool I've ever found in podcasting. And I have been podcasting for 10 years now. I've been hosting a podcast called Social Media Church. My wife and I have a podcast called Coming to New York City. And I've been a part of several other podcasts. And then I actually produce podcasts for clients. So if you're actually looking at creating a podcast for your business, for your organization, just for yourself, reach out. Our team at Amplify Social Media, amplifysocial.media, a little plug there, would love to help produce and basically turnkey your podcast for you. But the reality is most people getting started don't need an agency to do it for, because a platform like Riverside has made it so easy to create your podcast and essentially do it yourself without needing a bunch of tools, without needing an agency. Now, an agency like ours can polish it a little bit better and maybe give you some graphics on there and some other things. But the reality is you're getting started, you really just need this platform, and it will give you the core, pieces that you need to begin to producing and distributing your podcast content. A platform like Riverside allows you to get higher quality audio and video, and then it gives you tools. It's built for podcasts. So let's dig into how it works. And I would just walk you through how simple this platform is. So let's go to the screen. I'm going to assume that you've already set up your Riverside account. Now there's a free version, so you don't need to pay money to get set up. So before you pay money, I'd go ahead and create an account and test out the free version of Riverside. Now, once you start using it regularly, I think it's worth paying the $15 a month. Or whatever the cost is. I actually pay for the pro account as I love all the features that are available. But as you're getting started, crawl, walk, run into this, use the free version, see how it works. And I think you're going to see it's worth $15 a month is a small investment when it comes to the value that you're going to get out of this platform. So if you set up your account, this is where you're going to go. And these are your studios. And so you can just simply create a new studio. And I'll just go ahead and create one here, test studio. And you can do audio and video or just audio. I'd recommend always capture video too. It doesn't hurt. And even if you don't use it initially, you might do it in the future. And then I'll go to enter studio. And now we're basically going into the studio, and it's going to ask this key question. You got to pick which camera are you going to use, which microphone are you going to use. Now, I like, just as a little plug here, the Samsung Q9U is my go-to. It's a USB microphone. You can get some great USB microphones too for like $20 on Amazon that will work really well. I would encourage you not just to use your headphones when recording. I think it's worth investing in a decent microphone. The Samsung Q9U is maybe $100, $150. It's a great high quality microphone. Blue Yeti is what I used for years. I think there's just a lot of great options out there. And then I use headphones. And so the question is, you can use headphones or not use headphones. People have different preferences. A lot of people don't like the way they look. I just like the audio quality, even being able to hear better with headphones. So I am an over the ears headphones guy. You can also use AirPods if you prefer that as well. So I use the headphones going right through the microphone here. So I'm going to select I'm using headphones, and you can put your name, which helps. It's almost just like Zoom where your name is there at the bottom, and I'll just go to join studio. So now I am in the Riverside studio, and you can see because I'm recording this in Riverside, it will show I think some funny functions there. But we can, within Riverside here, go in and I can invite other people. And so it will basically give me a share link. And if I give that to them, they'll be able to jump in to Riverside with with that link, just like a Zoom call. And so it all happens within the browser. You don't have to have a Riverside app. Now, if you are doing it on your phone, you will have to use the Riverside app, but I don't recommend doing it on the phone. I think it's much better on a computer device, but it can work. So if you have a guest that wants to be on and the only option is an iPad or an iPhone or smartphone, that is an option. You can see here on the right, you want to title your podcast. So I'm going to just title this one Test Podcast, and then you can have different features. You can remove background noise. That's typically important, especially when you're not using headphones. And so, but I think anytime you can do this, echo cancellation also important, especially important when not using headphones. And there's just different features here, and you'll see it's very similar to Zoom, where you can select, if you want to switch microphones or you want to switch cameras, if you have different webcams or speakers where the audio is coming from. You can have a script and it will actually work as like a teleprompter here. And so test script, and that's helpful for some people that want that support when recording. You can actually add in, if you're just like clapping or drum roll. These are different features, and just like you have a little soundboard that you can use. Chat is a feature that I like to use, where sometimes I'm like, okay, we're going to wind it down here in 5 minutes, or where I give kind of cues to guests or other people that I'm recording with. I like having that chat feature, and you'll be reminded of Zoom, because I think we're used to kind of those video conferencing platforms, but you get kind of the best of video conferencing with the best of recording quality. I think some of the other features within this is you can actually go live here. So you can actually stream this live on Facebook Live or YouTube Live, which I believe is a pretty cool feature. And so that's the setup. That's the studio. It really is that simple. And then you just literally hit start recording. And because I'm recording right now, it won't let me, but you literally hit start recording. It will give you a 5-second countdown clock. You can remove that countdown clock if you just want it to immediately start recording. I like that 5-second countdown clock. It allows me kind of to hit record, take a breath, and then go into the recording. And then when you're done, it's basically stop. And then that's it. And then you leave the studio. Now, I want to highlight this other last features. You can share your screen. And so I'm actually recording this in Riverside right now through screen share to this other Riverside video recording. And so, those are, kind of the core foundational features of Riverside that work very similar to Zoom or video conferencing, but give you this core recording capacity. And so I'm going to go ahead and then just end session for all. You can leave studio or end session for all. I'm going to end session for all. I'm going to go back into the studio. So you're done recording. And so now I'm going to go into my Riverside studio account. You can see here this studio. And because I just set it up as a test recording studio, you won't see anything there. But I'm going to go into my main podcast studio just so you can take a look at how some of these features work. And so this is Social Media Church is my primary podcast that I run, and it's an interview style podcast, and you can see a lot of my interviews here. So I'm going to go into one of my recent interviews, and this is with Angie White here. And these are the two things I think that are valuable that you can create. You can go to full episode and generate episode, and it will basically use AI to edit your episode for you, saving you a lot of time. And so if you prefer to manually edit the episode, you can do that. And if you look down here at the bottom, it will actually give you the opportunity to download the full video and audio files of all participants. But I could also just download Angie's audio and video or my audio and video. And then it also gives me a transcript that's auto-generated after the video is done. And I just hit download, and I can have that file saved and add that to my YouTube video or add that to as a blog post. So just some great assets that are automatically generated immediately after the episode, and it will take a few minutes to process, and then you'll see those pop in, and then you can see there's the full episode. And then I'm going to do generate clips as well. And so one of the things people are always asking me, how do you get those clips on social media where it's in vertical from your podcast? You have to edit both videos out, and how do you have to reposition the audio and the video? And what you'll see here is that in a matter of seconds, Riverside actually creates these for you. It's filtering through the whole interview in video, and it's saying, here's what we believe based on the transcript that the AI was able to use, or maybe certain key just peak moments, what they believe to be those viral moments. It will create those viral clips for you right here for social media. And so it is an awesome asset that's being created by Riverside. You can see here are a few clips that it generated. So I can literally just go into these, and you can see, and it's using the transcription here. And so I could actually, and so you can see the captions, it automatically is putting over the video. And I could, if I wanted to change this and correct it to something else, you can edit those captions in there. You could actually even just edit the formatting, and you can see the video is all just right there in Riverside. And so you can optimize that however you want, and lots of different features. And then you just export that file out, and you now have that file to be able to upload to Instagram or to TikTok or whatever platform that you want to post those clips onto. And so that is a tremendous feature. Going back into the studio then, so you basically, you now have in the export, you now have your full video, and you can download the audio out of that as well. And you can edit that full length video and audio if you want to. And so you've got now the full video, full audio, and then you basically just take that audio file and upload that to Libsyn or Spreaker or whatever podcast audio host that you're using. You just upload it right there, and then it will distribute it to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, those different platforms. And so you'll need a recording platform like Riverside, and then you'll need a hosting platform for your audio like Libsyn is my preferred platform, but Spreaker, or there's several other great ones out there, Podbean, that you might want to use. And then you take that video and upload that to YouTube, and that's it. Then your full podcast, your pillar content is then distributed and ready. And then I always email that out to my email list that new podcast is live. And then I take those clips and begin to schedule those out over the next week or so to begin to highlight the podcast. And I'll always put in those social media clips, go to, YouTube for our latest full podcast, or to watch the full episode. Riverside has basically taken away, like 4 tools that I used to use to do all of these things, and put it in one at a fraction of the cost of what we used to pay for all of those products. And now it's all in the one platform. It's really a fantastic tool that has simplified our processes around podcasting, as well as amplified our quality tremendously. And one of the things too, I just want to add this in with Riverside, is that one of the things that I love is, I've been using Riverside now for about 2 years, is that Riverside is just constantly getting better. Just new features are steadily being added, but it's not getting more complicated to use. Sometimes when software, starts adding features, it gets a little clunky. I'm not finding that to be the case at all with Riverside. I just find it to be easier to use, better quality, and just better tools to make it even easier to podcast. And so if you have a podcast and you're not yet using Riverside, I can't encourage you enough, give it a try. I think you're going to be very happy that you made that shift. And if you're thinking about launching your podcast and you're like, the core reason people don't launch a podcast is because they've got an idea. It's just like writing a book, where it's like, I've got a book I want to write, I just don't know how to do it. Or podcasting is saying, I've got a podcast I'd love to launch, but it just seems so complicated. Well, Riverside has taken out the complexity, and they've done it in a way that gives you optimal quality. And so I just, I'm a big fan of Riverside. The last plug I want to make is I have a link in the description below. So if you're interested in Riverside, use my affiliate link. I get a small percentage of any purchases made through that affiliate link. And so I'm a big fan of Riverside. I can't recommend it enough. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Love to answer your questions about Riverside, but I can't recommend this platform enough. Thanks, Riverside, for creating great software. And thank you for allowing me to partner with you in this way to be able to bring Riverside to more podcasters. I am excited to see and hear the podcast that come out of those that are beginning to use Riverside into the future. Thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you again on the next episode.